Glad to know that you're still tuned in to Rapid 96.5 FM. This is the climax of it all. This is the program where we take a standpoint on issues that is rocking the state of Abia and, of course, our nation, Nigeria. From Umuahia to the world. My name is Temple Bara. On the other side of the table is a former general manager of ASPIMS. One-time appointee of government when he was in charge of diaspora, and X this, X that. He is in the studio with me. He's also the spokesperson of the Atiku project in Abia State, a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, and recently very critical of the performance of His Excellency Okezie Victor Ikpeazu, governor of Abia State. It's none other than Chief Kingsley Megwara. He's in the studio with me. A very good morning to you. Glad to have you. I think you should come closer to the microphone and then a lot straight. The way it was before works. Yes, just speaking to it. Good morning.
Good morning, TC. I'm happy to be here.
Glad to have you.
Thank you.
All right. So, very recently we've been seeing your post, your comments, as to certain things you feel the present administration should have done, and the fact that maybe some people have been left out of the thick of things and all that. You were the general manager under this administration, right?
Yes,
What happened? Did you fall out of favor? Are you at loggerheads with the Eagle, as he's called, the number one? What's your relationship with the governor right now?
No, I wasn't at loggerheads with anybody at TC. And I know a lot of people have different opinions as to what had happened.
Okay.
But I can tell you honestly that Kingsley Megwara had run for Federal House of Representatives.
Okay, I saw that poster.
And Kingsley Megwara had resigned as the law had asked that we do. And it wasn't anything. It was just my ambition to represent the good people of Umuahia Federal Constituency in the National Assembly. That was the reason why I had left my former position and nothing more.
Okay, so but some persons believe that you didn't perform well, in that position, and I think the person, the former chief of staff took after you. Right, and a lot of comparisons were done as to your performance and his and all of that. What were the challenges you experienced when you were in office? Because they say some of these things usually come with its own headache.
TC, yesterday is gone, and sometimes I don't like to go back to yesterday, but I do know that we still have maybe about a little over 200 employees in our ASPIMS.
Could you just come close to the mic a little bit?
And the best people to ask, to date, perhaps if you go down to our ASPIMS in Umuahia or in Aba and just simply ask them, who do you think has been the most effective general manager since the inception of this agency? TC, whatever they tell you, believe it. Believe also that as general manager of ASPIMS, I had 6 ambulances that were located at strategic places in Abia State, making sure that we pick up people who are involved in accidents. That's primarily our job, and all of the things that I had tried to bring to our ASPIMS, including putting together the Little Trauma Center, whereas we would have been able to treat accident victims, those that are non-life-threatening, instead of going to hospitals. I came in with a lot of ideas, and again, I'm not going to rate myself. I'm simply going to say, go to ASPIMS in Aba, go to ASPIMS in Umuahia. Whatever they tell you about Kingsley Megwara, believe it. Don't believe what the politicians say, because we say a lot.
So are you calling yourself a politician then?
I am a politician. I'm a positive politician.
And are you still a member of the People's Democratic Party?
But of course, I have been since 2004.
Okay. All right. So, prior to becoming the general manager of the Abia State Passenger Integrated Manifest and Safety Scheme, you were one-time special advisor at Diaspora Affairs. That was under Governor Theodore Orji's administration. Was that the first time we had any, that kind of arrangement? Talking about linking Abians outside the shores of Nigeria and within the state.
Well, that was the first time most people heard about diaspora. And it's one thing that I want to thank God for. For every assignment I come in, people begin to know something about that area. Nobody knew anything about ASPIMS. until Kingsley Megwara came on board and began to sensitize people about the need to be responsible for motorists in this state. The same thing applies to when I took up the position of special advisor on diaspora.
Okay.
Till date, some people call me Mr. Diaspora, Mr. Diaspora. I think it has a lot to do with how I view politics. We should be public servants. We should be responsible to the people and not the people worshiping us as mini God. If you're a governor, you are responsible to making sure that the finances of the state is in order. And making sure that you manage people's resources very, very, very well. So, yeah, and that's it. Even before I became special advisor on diaspora, I was one time deputy chairman of Umuahia North local government.
So you've been there, done it all.
So I still say, go back to Umuahia North local government and ask who Kingsley Megwara is. Whatever they tell you about me, that's what you should believe. The people. It's only the people that are in a better position to judge who their leaders, who their effective leaders were.
All right. So I'd like to, before we move on to your current position now, Abia State now has a diaspora commission, right? And did you play any role in achieving that? And what's your relationship with the current holder of the office of diaspora?
The young lady who is managing diaspora is doing a fantastic job. Of course, I will give her credit that upon her assumption to work, she spent a good 4 hours in the house trying to tap from what I know about the position, and I wished her well. I also told her some of the inhibitions that may come with the job. She's done very well, and I am very proud of her.
All right. So you are currently the spokesperson for the Atiku project. How is it called now? Atiku?
Well, I'm the spokesperson for the Atiku presidential campaign in Abia State.
Okay.
The Atiku presidential campaign in Abia State under the leadership of Chief Charles Ogbenea and several other persons.
He's been there, done it all.
Well, and he even at the last election, he coordinated Atiku here in Abia State. So he's an old hand, and Chief Charles Ogbenea has done exceedingly very well trying to market Atiku in Abia State. Has not been an easy job to do, but we are telling people based on what we see, the numbers.
Yeah.
The numbers will never lie to you. We have not come on board to criticize any other presidential candidate. We are simply marketing our guy to say that Atiku Abubakar is a unifier, to say that Atiku Abubakar is the only presidential candidate for all of them today, is the only one that is prepared from day one to be Mr. President.
What do you mean by preparation?
Well, the other guys who are running have been former governors. TC, I want to tell you there is a sharp distinction between being a governor and being Mr. President. So, some
persons believe that that's an advantage, owing to the fact that Atiku, at the time he became vice president, he wanted to contest for the position of governor, and then he became vice presidential aspirant to the then Olusegun Obasanjo president, and eventually he never got into the office of the governor. Some persons are of the opinion, some school of thought, that having gone through the rigors of campaigning for the office of a governor and becoming a governor and managing a state for maybe 2 terms, it gives you some edge. But you are saying contrary.
Well, you manage one state, you are going to manage 36.
So then do you think because he was vice president?
Well, because he was vice president, and not just a vice president. He was not one of those robotic vice president. He was a real vice president.
But then he fell out with his superior at some point.
Well, I don't know what you call falling out, but I know that he was a very effective, a very powerful vice president, and that's why some of us think that he's going to be a very effective president. He's not going to be the president that will learn, Mohammed, bring me this file. Okonkwo, what do you call the... No, from day one, Atiku Abubakar is prepared to be president and commander-in-chief. I say distinction between being a governor of, take for example, Abia State or Anambra State or any of this, or Lagos State. There's a sharp distinction between a governor and being Mr. President. Atiku Abubakar is better prepared. Remember, get this quote very well. He is better prepared to be president than any other person who is running to be president today, period.
Okay, the period is from you. I'll put a semicolon and then we'll continue the conversation. Let's just oppose his preparedness with some other candidate, some person. I would mention names. Ahmed Bola Tinubu is also of the opinion that he's waited in line, and that after the current Buhari administration, it is his turn, and that he's worked, hours tirelessly preparing, to assume office. And you would also have someone who, in a certain Peter Obi, who believes, he's also prepared for him. He wants to change the narrative, and he has some large following on the social media. As an Igbo man from Abia State, do you think ethnicity will play a large role in determining the numbers that you have mentioned earlier on?
This is sadly so. Sadly so. As a proud Igbo man, I am one of those who will say any day that I feel like the entire Southeast, in my opinion, that we've been marginalized over the years. But that's not what we are talking about now. We are talking real figures. We are talking real elections. We are talking about the dynamic nature of the Nigerian political landscape. And what we know now and what we see, and when I say this to my friends, they say, Megwara, please take that garbage somewhere. The facts on the ground today is clear. Ethnicity plays a major role in our politics today. And I can take that to the bank any day. However, if you look at the facts, the 13 solid northern states in this country today, I would be surprised if some of the guys who think that they are going to win the next election will get 10% of the vote there. There are some guys that are going to sweep the Southeast. Yeah. No problem. There are guys who may sweep the south, no problem. But sweeping the Southeast and sweeping the South is not enough to make you president. You have to go into deep north. And I don't hear some names in the north. You call some names in the north and they'll ask you, is he a movie guy, or is he a football player? The facts on the ground today is that Kingsley Megwara is a realist. I look at numbers.
So
the numbers are adding up for Atiku Abubakar.
We do not have that person who has that national spread apart from Atiku Abubakar.
I think so. I think so. And maybe because he's been in the terrain for a little while, there are some guys in the ring that are nice guys. But sometimes nice guys doesn't cut it. Numbers cut it. And the man with the numbers right now is Atiku Abubakar.
Well, we've had a situation where Peter Obi has taken his campaign to Benue, to some core northern state. He even did meet up with Sheikh Gumi at some point. And then the followership and what's the word now? The turnout was massive. And so when you say some persons do sound like movie actors when you mention their names in the north, does that apply to what we are seeing, reports that we have and feelers we have, as is the case of Peter Obi?
You see, social media doesn't win election.
Yes,
people win elections, and I'm just telling you. You and I will be here again on your program, and you will say, "Wow, Kingsley Megwara was right." The numbers are just important in this our game. The numbers are what we look at. And I'm telling you that we've sat down and looked at the numbers, the states that are favorable and the states that are not so favorable.
Abia State may not be favorable.
Well, we are looking to do our best in Abia State. And the Atiku campaign is looking to do our best in Abia State. Mind you, there are some states we are targeting to at least get 30-40% of the total votes. Not to say that we are considering Abia, but it may not naturally be in our target group as and that's the honesty of my any politician will come here now and tell you, oh, we will win Abia, we will take Enugu, we will take Imo. I've not said that on this program. So I say we are going to be competitive in Abia State.
Are there some states you're certain that you're going to take?
Very much so.
Would you mind mentioning?
Very, very much so. I wouldn't say so at this time.
Okay, but
we are very comfortable.
So the campaigns have started. And, we've not seen a lot of Atiku billboards, and it just seems as though we might not get a lot as regards attention when it comes to Atiku. Is it as a result of the fact that you just want to be competitive, and then, it might not be a strong contention when it comes to winning Abia? So just don't put the energy so much here.
Now the energy is coming, and it's coming gradually. If you know something about Chief Charles Ogbenea, you would know that he's a very smart politician. And several handlers of the Atiku project in Abia State are very, very sharp heads. And we're gradually coming around, trying to tell people, this is Atiku Abubakar, these are the others. These are the strengths of our candidates, and these are the weaknesses of those we think cannot be president. So what we are doing right now is a marketing project for our guy, telling people that Atiku Abubakar is a unifier. When we look at Atiku Abubakar, I don't even see a regular northerner. If Atiku Abubakar is in Abia State, you would think he's from Ebonyi State, or you think he's from Enugu. He mixes up very well, and we need somebody in this country at this time, because of all of the problems we have in this country. We need that man who will come on board and pull together pull together the cohesive forces of brotherhood and sisterhood that once made us Nigerians. Today, people are hemorrhaging here and there. People are suffering here and there. I once sat on this program with TTC when a bag of rice was 8,500. The other day, my wife told me it was 40,000 naira. I almost went into a cardiac arrest.
Really?
And so are several other defenders of the house, if I should call them. So if you are a wage earner out there and seeing how tough things are, you should begin to say, okay, who amongst all of these guys can rejig this country? We need somebody to come in and turn these things around. And we simply think that Atiku Abubakar, he has the reach, he has the intellect, he is healthy, he has the connections. Watch what happens in the first 6 months of his administration. Rice will go from 40,000 back to 10,000. Those are the kinds of things we want to see. And I'm not going to just come on this program and paint everything. It's okay. No. Things are terribly bad, TC, and you know it. And people are out there, they are suffering. They are looking for who is the savior, who is going to come on board and help us. And I think, and that's why some of us have joined this team. And by the way, I have challenged all of my Igbo friends and brothers, including my wife. They have their leanings here and there. It is a dangerous thing for all Ndibo to put all of our eggs in one basket. It is a dangerous thing for Ndibo to put all of our eggs in one basket. And that's what Buhari said to us the other day. They didn't vote for me, and for that reason, I'm really not going to do anything on this side of the Atlantic. And so we don't want to see that again. It's fine if some of our brothers are in the other parties. Kingsley Maguire, I don't have any problem with it. But please, don't castigate anybody that is in any party. We have our reasons to do so. We need to spread our wings.
All right, we'll take a momentary detour. When we return, of course, the Guber candidates of the People's Democratic Party in Abia State was pictured in a visit with Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. We'll talk about that and, of course, narrow it down to the state level and activities. Stay right here on the dial. It is The Standpoint on Rapid 96.5 FM. My name is Temple Barra. We'll be right back.
Politics, dynamics, and permutations.
It is a concern that we have for our country, Nigeria. This is beyond partisan politics. It's unfortunate. And these are the kind of people who say they are leaders of this country. What example are they showing as leaders of the country?
Let's keep you abreast with the happenings in the polity.
Nigeria is on drip and on oxygen. And how can we get out of this?
I am an employer of the president. I pay the president's salary. I pay the bills of his family. And he must protect me.
Standpoint. The center of all talks of politics.
Standpoint, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. on Rapid 96.5 FM, Umahia.
More Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian. That's right.
Well, glad to know that you are tuned in to The Standpoint. It is Rapid 96.5 on the frequency modulated band. This is the sound of your city. My name is Temple Barra. In the studio with me is the ex-general manager. Of course, Chief Kingsley Maguire has been there, done it all. He is a former special advisor to the then governor, T.A. Orji, in Abia State, special advisor on diaspora. Before that, he was also deputy chairman of Umuahia North. So you could call him my Lord Mayor. That works. Today, he's the spokesperson of the Atiku campaign organization in Abia State. And we've been looking at some issues. I'd like to take him on the issue of the governor of Abia State aligning with Wike. But then, let me come from a certain angle here. For a while, people are of the opinion that you can belong to a party A, and support the Guba candidate. Then the party B will have another presidential candidate to support. Then House of Assembly has party. So there's this mindset that it can be across party lines. We've even seen House of Assembly aspirants supporting a presidential aspirant, who's not a member of their party. The term 4/4, 5/5 is no longer in vogue. It has diminished, and yes, it comes with the evolution of our politics. Governor Okezie Victor Ekpeazu has never said he's not going to support the ambition of Atiku Abubakar. His grouse, and as well as the rest of the G5 governors, is the leadership of the party in the country. Now, Atiku has continued to insist, and Iyorchia has said he's only going to resign after the elections. What do you think about this scenario playing out in your party? You think it will scuttle your chances? Because a house divided amongst itself, what? That's a popular quote.
Well, I for a while I like what was going on in our party. It shows that it's a healthy party. We are not zombies. That we will not disagree. What the G5 governors have maintained, they had good point, and some of us have also in the past supported it. But what is more painful to me now is there comes a time when you criticize a position and then you realize the dangers of continuing on that framework, the repercussions to the people. And those of us in PDP have seen that the country is in a terrible situation right now, and our appeal to the G5 governors is, okay, what do you want us to do at this point? Are you going to continue on this line of agitation, and we will risk not saving the entire 230 million Nigerians? There is a need for us to say, APC, you guys have done your bit. Good night, see you in heaven. So we can begin the reconstruction of this country. So that's where I want my G5 governors to please be aware.
So you're comfortable with Iyorchia's leadership?
He has done well as our party chairman. You can't take that away from him. But notice that the people that have expressed some disagreements with the current formation are also coming together. It's a family thing. The PDP family is strong, and I want to make a prediction to you, TC, that in the next couple of weeks you will see that the rifts and the differences are coming down, because we are now focused at the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is trying to say good night to the APC so that we can begin to reconstruct this country once again. The confidence level amongst PDP members is very, very high. Never before is Alhaji Atiku Abubakar in a better position to be president than now. So the G5 and the agitations have been noted, and better days are ahead for PDP members. We will be okay.
Well, prior to the emergence of Professor Uche Eliezer Ikunne, there was some sort of rift that was reported, took over social media, in Chief Charles Ogbonna and then current administration, some disagreement. And then eventually Professor Uche Ikunne emerged as the Guba candidate for the PDP in Abia State. Have some of those issues been aligned? Do you have a situation where the state are fully involved in ensuring that Atiku's chances of emerging president is materialized?
Again, like I said, when you have problem in a family, it takes a little while and things are gelling. I think we are still one party, mind you. For everybody who had made some agitations in the beginning, nobody left the party.
You had the Senator Baribe who left the party.
Well, I'm saying before now,
okay.
the Chief Charles Obwene is still very much in the party. Kingsley Maguire is still very much in the party, and several other people who might have said something in the beginning. It's a party thing. Some of us are concerned about the internal workings of our political party. If I'm a member of a political party and you just want to rubber stamp everything and Kingsley Maguire will go through it, it dwarfs my 30 years in America. I don't operate that way.
I want to ask you a question that just dropped in my head. The governor is the leader of the party in the state, and then he belongs to the G5, and then you have some of the leadership, right? How do you marry this, owing to the fact his ideologies, what he wants as regards getting a chunk or a portion from the national cake, in quote, is not being listened to, and then you have a small another group of people who are party members who are still loyal to the cause. Isn't that rift going to affect your chances?
TC, have you ever heard any derogatory remark from the governor against Atiku Abubakar?
None.
He has never, ever said anything bad about Atiku Abubakar. Governor Kezi Bazo is in PDP. I'm not his spokesperson, by the way, but he's in PDP and he's working for the interest of the PDP, and so are all of us.
All right, we'll open up the phone lines and get reactions and questions. I would ask people to drop their questions on the social media platform, which is Rapid 965 FM. We're live streaming on Facebook and YouTube, so you can take advantage of any of the platforms that you want to, ask these questions and leave your questions. Let's take this conversation to the next level. In the studio is Chief Kingsley Maguire. He's a spokesperson of the Atiku Abubakar campaign organization, and of course the rift between the G5 governors and all is coming to bear. Just before we take calls, okay, I could rest that for later. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. What's your name?
I am Chinedu Mabuna. I'm calling my phone. I can now. Oh, give one with this number because
you're calling into a radio station. You're live on radio. So if that's not what you intend to do, you okay. All right. That wasn't the right call. So, this question is from our social media portal. It says, you say Atiku is better prepared to be president than any other political aspirant today. What are the indices you used in the measurement of your claim or Atiku's better preparedness?
Well, TC, when you are assisting somebody as vice president, you get to know from what is going on with the economy. You get to know what is going on with foreign relations. You get to know a little bit about everything. So your boss at that time may take these decisions that might not be congruent with yours, but you now say, wow, if I was president, I would have done this better. The fact that Atiku Abubakar for 8 years sat in meetings that discussed Nigeria, discussed the problems of Nigeria. He knows those problems firsthand. Number one issue we have in this country now, before any other thing, is security. And I'm saying that he's better prepared because he has more knowledge as a result of having been part of, in 8 years, part of the security architecture. Atiku Abubakar sat in those meetings. That's number one. As a successful businessman, Atiku Abubakar knows what has to be done economy-wise. The economic strength of this country has to be opened once again. He knows that. Bringing people together, and that's why we call him a unifier. And nobody, if you ask about some of, even when he was working in Lagos and at customs, you ask most of the Igbo boys who were doing business, say, Atiku Abubakar is the one man that this guy is a business person. So those are the things that we are looking for. We are looking for a man who will come in and bring us together. This is not rocket science. He knows what to do from day one, and that is why we are impressed with him.
All right. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. You have 1 minute, please. Question, reactions, contribution on the program.
No problem. Samuel, good morning, sir.
My brother, good morning.
God bless you. My name is Owako Chidebere, and I'm representing from Arokeri in Bende LGA. Honestly, you said it all about Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Indeed, he is a unifier. And that is one reason why we believe on what he can be able to do. We want to unify Nigeria because we are no longer together as we used to be when he was the vice president of this country, him and Obasanjo.
Mm-hmm.
That is more reason why we need him. If you go to Bende, me as a youth leader of Atiku Women and Youth Unite for Atiku, honestly, we've already decided to for Atiku. The only thing there is let the party, which is PDP, do their homework very well because it's very, very important for us to understand the way APC have led us into this period. We cannot mistakenly give power, no matter what it is, to any party called a talk more of PC. No, because people are suffering. How much is dollar today? How much is kerosene? How much is fuel? How much is diesel? Are we talking about rice and all the rest of them? APC has really brought hardship to this country. That is more reason why we need a unifier. Somebody who understands the economy that can be able to fix Nigeria in order for Nigeria to keep working again. Thank you and God bless you.
All right, thank you very much. I just had to allow a few seconds more. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Better.
Yes, good morning. Go ahead.
Good morning, Samuel.
Good morning, my brother.
Yeah, I'm Bishop Angiese, and I'm calling from the Chelo Tamba. I just have two questions for you, Samuel.
Thank you.
Number one, why is it that I have not seen much of Atiku's campaign and divorce in Abia? Secondly, are you aware that the party you are trying to market has inflicted so much pains on other workers and pensioners? God bless you.
All right. Questions?
Well, the first one, he said he has not been able to see Atiku billboards are everywhere. Life-size billboards are everywhere, and sometimes billboards don't win elections. People win election. In the 17 local government, we have coordinators who are now talking to the people about the dangers of being misled into any other party. Like I said, and like I'm doing on this program, talking about the strength of our candidates. So when you marry two wives, TC, and I have two wives, so I know wife A and wife B, who their strengths and their weaknesses. When you marry two wives, you will know the difference. Nigerians have married two wives. The first was PDP, and later they married another wife called APC. Let Nigerians be the judge. Between your first wife, PDP, and your second wife, APC, who may be a better wife, you make that decision. And overwhelmingly, I'm hearing Nigerians saying, my first wife, PDP, is better than this, my younger wife, that is APC. And so they're eating more from the first wife. If that analogy can hold. So Nigerians have seen the difference between PDP and the difference between APC, and I think they have chosen that the PDP administrators need to come back and see how we can salvage this country. The second one is some of the issues we have in the state. I'm not speaking for the state, but I think better days are ahead for workers in Abia State. Better days are coming.
All right, so this is a question on social media. He says, you say rice will return to 40,000, from 40,000 to 10,000. What are the strategic steps or policies the PDP has designed as a roadmap to achieving that goal? Well,
before now, and my good friend Timmy Franks, I met in Atlanta. Let me just give you a little expo, TC. Yeah. That before now, an economic team has been set up already by Atiku Abubakar. It's not a situation of coming on board and spending a whole 1 year trying to figure out, okay, where all of the damage. No, he has already. I won't say at this time, but he has set up an economic team that quickly goes in from day one. That's why I said he is the most prepared from day one to be president. Things are already arranged to make sure that people begin to see the difference between mediocrity and quality leadership. With Atiku, you will see quality leadership from day one.
Good morning. Please turn down the volume on your radio.
I have. Gomez is my name from us. Good morning, Kingsley.
Good morning, my brother. Honorable.
Yes. I totally agree with all that you have said. And to put it succinctly, Atiku is the most prepared, not Toby. But I can tell you succinctly that an Atiku is an industrialist, somebody who is a businessman, who has put his team together, who has contested not once, not twice. You saw the impression he made against the incumbent president. And I can also tell you that in the north, Atiku is the real deal. And I can also tell you he's our in-law, even the Igbos, yes. And I can also say in the south. So what we are saying in effect is that when he worked under Obasanjo, this was the man that drove able to get the GSM we are using today, the privatization. And of course, look at even his, his manifesto. For he's the only candidate that is telling you that we will have state police doing it. Others are doing it. Even the Tinubu people that sent police when they were in it, they've ceased talking about it. But Atiku has come out freely and he has come out with his economic blueprint. So what we are saying, let us follow this most prepared person who will go in as a former vice president. He knows what to do so that at the end of the day, we'll all be happy for it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Ugochukwu. It's more or less about the elections, and a lot of comparisons have been done with the presidential candidate of Labour Party. Well, your principal, talking about Atiku, did not appear at the Arise TV campaign, and some people have said, how do we hear or find out what he intends for us?
Well, the campaigns have just started. There are several debates that are scheduled. So far, you will see more and more about Atiku, talk about his plans for Nigeria. That's just one. There are several that and you know that he's not shy of the microphone. When you know your facts, when you have a vision, when you know what you want to do for the country, your only thing is to go out and tell the people. And he's going to be doing more and more of those, and you will see him more and more.
All right, let's wrap up with this conversation. Ukonkole had led the PDP Guba candidate Ikunne to visit Atiku Abubakar. Are you aware of that meeting? Is Ukonkole part of your team in Abia State? And what is the fallout of that meeting?
Well, it's always good when you have the flag of your party in your state to make sure that you are interacting with the man who may be president if you are governor. So that visit to Atiku was to familiarize, peradventure, things happen in that direction. So we don't have any problem with anybody reaching out to our presidential candidate. Any reach out to him is positive for us here in Abia State, and we don't
what are the chances of Ikunne in Abia State?
Ikunne is a quality material. Okay. Ikunne is quality. That's how I will put it. Ikunne is quality, and Ikunne may shock a lot of people.
He may shock. In what aspect? Emerging governor or delivering the goods of democracy?
Ikunne will shock a lot of people.
Okay, well, I'll have to borrow words from Ugochukwu Emezue. Say succinctly put, and then we'll wrap up this conversation. A former boss of yours in the present governor, Okezie Victor Ikpeazu, is vying for Senate. How does it play out? Things don't go the way of the G5. He becomes Senate, Atiku becomes president, and then some of these issues continue. What are his chances against a many-time Senate member, talking about Ina Abari, who used to be a member of the People's Democratic Party.
Well, like you keep saying that if things don't go well with the G5, earlier in the program I had told you that my prediction is in the next couple of weeks you will hear good news. It's a family feud, and things will come right. I have no problem that the G5 will realize that it is more important for us to wrestle our power from the APC in the interest of Nigeria than in any interest of maybe the G5 or the zones that they are trying to protect. It is more important now. It is more important now to make sure that we defend Nigeria than defending the members of the G5. And I know they will toe the moral high ground. I think that the people of Abia South will make good decisions about who represents them in the National Assembly. I am from Abia Central, and
you're focused on that.
Yes.
All right. So someone has been persistent in calling. Let's find out who that is. Hello. Good morning to you.
Good morning. My name is Victor, calling from Umaya.
Right. Go ahead.
Okay, please. The man in the studio that is saying that Atiku is a unifier, why can't he solve the problem of IU and the IU saga? It's not supposed that it's unfair for Northerner to be a president and Northerner to be a party chairman of PDP. Let him solve that problem before we understand that he's a unifier. Why is that problem very difficult for him to solve? A unifier, and he can't solve that problem. That problem is an assignment to him to solve so that we know him as a unifier. It's a very big assignment for him to do. Let him show himself as a unifier to tell IU to come down and give it to a Southerner. That's what I want to tell the guests here, your guests there in the city.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
You have a very good point, my brother. As you may recall, you've never heard anything derogatory from Atiku going to Wike, or from Wike going to Atiku. Wike is the head of the G5 or whatever that group is called. And I've told you that it's a family feud within the party. And I've also made a prediction on this program this morning that in the coming weeks, you will see that everything will fall in place. You cannot be in a party and be a zombie. The agitations of the G5 members are okay. That's what is being in. That shows that the Democratic Party is healthy. Nobody is a rubber stamp anymore. They challenge some concepts about the party and its formation or its internal workings, and those agitations have been taken. And I'm telling you in this program today that the unifier has unified all of us. In the coming weeks, my prediction is that things will fall in place.
Well, that will be your final words on the program. Thank you very much for finding time to be with me in the studio today on the program, The Standpoint. Well, on the program today, we've looked at Atiku's candidature and, of course, the issues with the G5 governors. The person in the studio speaking is the spokesperson to the Atiku Abubakar campaign organization in Abia State. Ex this, ex that, Chief Kingsley Megwara. Hopefully, we'll have more of you, and eventually, probably the coordinator of Atiku campaign organization in Chief Charles Ubunna vlog in the studio. My name is Temple Barra. Standpoint makes a return, and next week, Monday, it's going to be 10 a.m. We'll have fresh packages for you. Have yourself a great day and a beautiful weekend ahead. Bye for now.
Let's talk politics, dynamics, and permutations.
It is a concern that we have for our country, Nigeria. This is beyond partisan politics. It's unfortunate. And these are the kind of people who say they are leaders of this country.